This is Jared Horak for today's RacingDigest.com, and my Today's Racing Digest video series continues Saturday, January 4th, 2020. We're going to look at two Kentucky Derby prep races on the road to Kentucky Derby 2020. One's a points race, one isn't. One's at Santa Anita Park, one's at Gulfstream Park. So those are the two races we're going to cover this week, and we're going to start with Santa Anita Race 5, the Grade 3 Sham Stakes, 1 mile on the main track. We have a shorter field here, a field of 6. Bob Baffert trains 2 of the 6. They're both solid contenders in here. Let's pull up the fast figs right now. We've talked about the fast figs many times in these videos. It's a combination speed, class, rating, all rolled into one. And in the fast figs in this race, you'll see Authentic, number 1, and then Zimba Warrior, a long shot. They both have a 117. And then Taishan, number 6, has a 116. So those are the top horses on the fast figs. And in this Sham Stakes, I said we have a shorter field with Baffert training a couple. And it looks like the 3 favorites in here are definitely the 3 horses to beat. Number 6, Taishan, he's 5-2 morning line. He showed good improvement over a route of ground in his second career start. That was on November 3rd. He's probably going to stalk the pace from the outside post. I think he can threaten the 2 Bob Baffert runners if he can move forward a bit. Now he's going to lose some ground stalking the pace, and I don't think there's a ton of pace in here, but he's got enough speed to work out a forwardly placed trip. Now, one of 2 Bob Baffert trainees, his longer price horse, and I think this one's going to take money, number 4, Azul Coast, is also 5-2 morning line. Now this one took the overland route in his 1 mile debut. That was at Los Alamitos race course on December 8th. He was wide, he was coming from off the pace, and he was much the best that day. Didn't really have a lot of speed. I think that's obviously why Bob Baffert started him in a route race. This horse has a lot of stamina. This race is 1 mile. So I would expect that as we get into longer races and he has more experience and he gets a bit more pace help, he'll even do better. They paid $320,000 for this one. Joao Rosario is going to ride. He's going to be finishing. If he can get enough pace help, he certainly has the stamina to win this race. He just doesn't have a lot of experience, and then also maybe a mile is going to be too short in his first start against winners and his first stake start. I'm going to go with number 1, Authentic. This one is the 8-5 morning line favorite. Now, he was solid in his career debut. He was the overwhelming favorite, 5.5 furlongs at Del Mar on November 9th, and he got the top Today's Racing Digest final rating that day. So we already mentioned that he has the co-top fast fig, and then he got the top final rating in that race. And I think that from the inside post, he might be able to control the pace. Drayden Van Dyke's going to ride for Bob Baffert. They've been doing well together. Overall, for quite some time, they've been a strong jockey-trainer team. So from the inside post, if he can get out there and control the pace, I'm not really worried about the distance. He's going from 5.5 furlongs to a mile. I don't think that's going to be a big issue. Seems to be training well for this. Short field, this is kind of like a non-winners of one other than allowance race more than anything else, because you have your 3 favorites coming out of maiden wins. So that's really what this is. Even though it says it's a grade 3, this is an entry-level allowance race. There's no reason why Authentic can't get out there from the inside post, control the pace, and go all the way. So here's how we'll play this race. We'll play an exacta of Authentic number 1 over the 6 Taishan, and then a trifecta key. We're going to key number 1 Authentic on top of the 4 Azul Coast and the 6 Taishan. Not a lot of money to be made, but it's worth watching this race for Kentucky Derby points. Obviously the winner's going to get 10 points and move on, hopefully, on the road to the Derby. Azul Coast, maybe in the long run, could be the horse that you want to look at as a possible Derby horse, just because he seems like he has a lot of stamina, and if he can jump up in his second career start and win, that would be great. Same with Authentic, obviously, maybe not the same stamina, we'll see. He could be more like a miler. I feel like he's going to be that kind of horse, but you never know until they do it. So that's the first race that we've looked at. Now we're going to jump over to Gulfstream Park. We're going to do the 10th race, the Mucho Macho Man Stakes. Going to be traveling 1 mile around 1 turn. Now that Santa Anita race is a 2-turn mile. This race at Gulfstream Park is a 1 mile, 1-turn race. And I'm going to give out my top win contender in this race. It looks like there's a lot of speed. The 2 Chancet, your 9-5 morning line favorite. He likes Gulfstream Park. He likes to show speed. Number 3, Smash Factor. He's a gelding. He's got speed. He's got rising speed figures. He's going to be out there. Number 4, As Seen on TV. He's 5-2 morning line. He was up on the pace in all 3 of his dirt sprint starts. So he's one that's certainly going to be up on the pace. Then number 7, Inter Miami, 6-1. He romped in a local $50,000 maiden claiming race at 6 furlongs. So those 4 horses have a lot of speed, and it looks like it should set up for one of the off-the-pace runners. The 6, Volante, is one that should be coming from off the pace and switching surfaces, but we don't know how he is on the main track. The 4, Ashaar, for trainer Karen McLaughlin's a 10-1 long shot. He looked good winning his debut at Belmont at 7 furlongs, and then he ran into Independence Hall in his second start in the Nashua Stakes. Independence Hall came back and won a Derby points race on New Year's Day, the Jerome Stakes at Aqueduct. So he did face a good horse last time, but he didn't run well as the beaten favorite. I'm not sure I trust him in here. One horse I do trust is my top choice, the 1, South Bend. He's 9-2 morning line. He was up on the pace last time, and he weakened in the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes, but that was a wet track. That was a 2-turn race. Maybe he didn't care for the wet track. Maybe he didn't want to go the distance. But he's 3 for 3 on fast dirt in 1-turn races. He's going to get pace to chase. He's going to save the ground. If I can get anywhere near 9-2, I'm going to be happy for sure. Even if he's like 4-1 or 3-1, I think he's probably worth a play. I think he's the one to beat in here based on the way the pace plays, at least how it looks on paper. If it plays out that way, I think South Bend is going to get a great trip from off the pace, and he's my top choice, number 1, South Bend at 9-2. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, make some comments in the comment section. Who do you like in the Sham Stakes, the Mucho Macho Man Stakes? If you're interested in the complete digests for Santa Anita Park and Gulfstream Park for Saturday, January 4th, you can find those at todaysracingdigest.com. You can get the fast figs for $3 for each of those cards. So head on over to todaysracingdigest.com. Both of those races also will be part of my Santa Anita Park daily full cards, and that will be available for January 4th as well at todaysracingdigest.com. That will wrap up this week's video. I'll be back next week to look at some more stakes races from around the country.